this week I have been contemplating a lot, actually. I've had a lot on my mind. I guess I guess it's okay for me to share that with you. But I was raised Christian, raised going to church every Sunday, and there were aspects of it that I connected with. I've always been a spiritual being. But I mean, this is like a lot of people's story, but um yeah, I some things just never felt quite right to me, and so spirit was kind of reminding me of what I call the litmus test for like everything, of like the dichotomy between fear and love, and just knowing that those two things can't, like, they can coexist, but usually fear will taint love and it will cause love to no longer be pure or unconditional. And I found that the Christian church is very much a system. Well, not every Christian church, but a lot of times Christianity is used as a fear-mongering system, essentially. And Spirit will put videos on my YouTube algorithm to kind of get me thinking, and also to trigger me in ways of like, seeing where I'm at on my healing journey with certain things from my past. And I came upon a video about someone, talking about left New Age spirituality and witchcraft for God, like found God again. And I was like, Spirit, those aren't, mutually exclusive, right? Like spirituality and God can coexist. And I just was kind of sent in that same spiral back into like shame and fear, is like, of like, oh, are crystals demonic, like, which is something that like a lot of, God fearing quote unquote people believe. Or like, tarot cards, right? Like a lot of people fear that tarot cards are of the devil. And I found that tarot has helped me so immensely with my emotional healing journey, and has helped me gain so much insight and clarity. And the girl in this video was saying that, like, oh, when I was using crystals and tarot, I was so depressed and so many bad things were happening in my life. And I was like, wow, I've had the opposite journey. And for one thing, it's a reminder that all of us are on our own journeys, and we all use different things to help us along our path. But for another thing, it was just that reminder of objects have the power that we give them. And also, God can be in everything in our lives or only in some things. God comes in where we allow them to come in. And I'm going to use they them pronouns for God. I don't know if you're someone who has an aversion to that, but God is like everything. So why would they be gendered, like why would they be limited by the confines of human gender, right? So I just felt like, yeah, tarot probably could be used for demonic purposes, or, used by false prophets, right? But for me, I've just felt like it's been a tool for me to understand myself and the world better, and a conduit for communicating with spirit, because God's language is not the language of words, is not English or any other language of humanity. God communicates best through feelings and symbols and a combination of things, including words. But it's, a lot of times it's harder for us to communicate just like talking back and forth with God. That's not our first way of being able to communicate with God, because that's the most difficult way. And so I just have always set the intention of using the cards because I love artwork and I love symbology and metaphor. I've set the intention of using this as a way for spirit and God and I to connect through the languages of color and artwork, and using keywords, but also using metaphor. And so it was really like troubling me this week, and I was like going back and forth, and I was like, should I, delete my TikTok and my YouTube channel? And am I being bad? Am I being a false prophet for reading tarot on the internet? And Spirit didn't give me immediate answers. Spirit let me go back and forth in my own mind. And then I was reminded, yeah, none of my answers come when I'm like overthinking like this. So I've gotten quiet, and I sat with the feeling of like, what does it feel like to read on TikTok, on YouTube? What does it feel like to share tarot in the way that I use it on the internet? And it feels amazing, and I get so excited, and I've looked forward to this reading all week long, whereas feeling like, oh, I should just stop this and throw out my tarot cards and quit because I'm being a false prophet and this is demonic. I don't believe in demons in the way that people like communicate them. I believe in like people's inner demons being projected outward and manifesting in their outer reality. And I just feel like people want to externalize their fears, so they label things demonic. They say that people who use crystals, who use tarot cards, are inviting demons in, and that's just their own fears. I use that test of fear or love. Like if I was using the cards to get all scared about the future and to give people like negative predictions and like project negativity out into the world, that would be fear. But I'm using them to give people affirmative words of wisdom, of light, of truth. That's the intention that I set. And of course, like if it starts to feel wrong within my spirit, I'll quit. And I let Spirit know. I was like, I'll quit at any time, I promise. And so I guess all of this is just to say that, one, your intention is everything, and objects are just empty and devoid of power until we give them power and meaning. Everything in this life depends on the meaning that we give them. And two, like thinking for ourselves is really important, and to each their own. Like, yes, oneness is real and we are all a collective consciousness, but as human beings, we're individuals, and we're not meant to be indoctrinated and follow dogma just because that's what's the predominant belief system. Belief systems fall away all of the time, and the Bible has been used for centuries as a justification for violence. Slave owners used the Bible to tell people that slavery is right. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the people who are leaving New Age for Christianity don't believe in slavery. So not to go on an entire rant, also sorry for the dogs barking, but not to go on a whole rant. But that's all I wanted to say, is it's just a matter of what we use these tools for and what messages we want to spread. And to me, God is love is the most important message from the Bible. And there's also a contradictory message of we're supposed to fear God. We're not supposed to fear God. Fear is useful for certain survival things, but to me, I'm like, wait, if we have full faith in God, why are we fearing demons, right? If you believe in God to protect you against anything, why would you be afraid that using something for insight and wisdom would bring demons into your life? Yeah, and this is like not me judging this person who posted this video, but it's just more me contemplating what it means to form a belief system of faith out of love versus out of